Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. Before we kick it off and get started, I want to thank the folks at Garage Door Service and Sales. These are my ride or die. I have been endorsing them since I practically started in radio, like 18 years ago. Actually, I should say 16 because that's the end of when I quit radio. Why am I going into this? This is like deep shit. I just want to tell you about the great folks at Garage Door Service and Sales. Call Patrice. Call Tony when you need something fixed on your garage door. Call them if you want a brand new garage door. Or you can go in and look at all the different... I love doing this. Going in and looking at all the hot, cool, sexy new garage doors. This is definitely something that you don't start truly caring about until maybe you're a little older. But damn, it's a thrill for me to go into Garage Door Service and Sales and check out everything. You know what my dream is? Instead of having doors on the house, like, you know, those sliding doors in the back, I want a garage door. Okay, now it sounds outlandish, but maybe you've seen them before. They do that. They'll put a track in your house and they'll put it like an all glass garage door and you lift it up in the summer. My God, that's my dream. Call my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales or maybe go onto their website, garagedoorserviceandsales.com, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Wink and her necklace says best friends forever.
Actually, you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense. But sometimes you grow apart, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And I just want to jump right into it. Why do our neighbors across the street hate me?
I don't think anyone hates you, but you have a tendency to think if someone doesn't hug, handshake,
No, I don't.
high five.
I'm not a hugger.
No, because this is the third different instance in the last 2 days where you've talked about someone hating you because of...
What's going on with me? Is this like part of, being premenopausal? Is this... I really do try to just not care. They've got the whole Mel Robbins theory. Let them. And so it's like, okay, if they don't enthusiastically, which is essentially what happened. We were outside tonight and Murphy and Ryan were playing basketball and our neighbors walked by. And I've always thought these were really cool people.
Sure.
And I said, hey, guys, like a nerdo, I guess. And I got a very enthusiastic, like barely lift wave. And I'm like, oh, shiznit. Now, this is the second time something like this has happened to me because the other day we were at a soccer game or a soccer practice.
Yep.
And the coach, I was sandwiched in between Ryan and another mom. The coach walks right up, shakes this woman's hand next to me, does a complete walk next, like in front of me, and then shakes Ryan's hand and said, Murphy did a great job. I was invisible. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I'm just being sensitive. I think I'm just being. And then later I talked to the mom who did get the hello and she goes, that was so weird. We talked about it the entire way home, which made me a little sad. But I thought, are you kidding me right now?
See,
and so that's the second thing. And okay. I love you because you do try to explain it away to make me feel better. But I'm going to change the name of the podcast to Maybe It's Me.
I do think it's a little you on this.
You think it's me?
No. Like you're in your head.
Do you think that it would be weird if I sent her a text and said, hey, are you good? Is everything?
Yeah.
You do.
That'd be weird.
See, and I'm like, just get it out, air it out. And
I'm all about the air it out. I'm all about the air it out, but like, you didn't wave at me. Is everything okay?
I know, so gross.
Yeah.
I know I'm looking at it now from that perspective, and it is a little bit weird. But again, and who's ever really going to be honest in that situation? If someone's like, do you have a problem with me? Usually it's like, no. usually like this has happened to me regularly. It doesn't. But I don't know. Sometimes I guess I just piss people off, and I genuinely try to be like a pleasant person.
I would say you are a genuinely pleasant person.
Thank you.
I think sometimes you come off as not what is it, RBF? You don't have RBF. I'm not saying that.
Resting bitch face.
There you go. You know, I didn't want to say it.
I know.
But
I did.
You are a little bit of a shut-in. And I think that can come off as she's doesn't like anybody. So people maybe have thoughts about you that you don't like people or things because you're a little bit of a shut-in.
But you know
much
what?
so, the matter of fact, as we were outside tonight and Murphy and I were playing basketball and you were out there watching, reading or doing something, and these particular people waved and said, or
oh no, I initiated
or
it.
half wave. I was like, completely normal. It's fine. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, but I also think men don't really think about things the way that women do. Women have that intuition that they do.
I wouldn't say, sure, intuition, but you're reading too much into things. Like the coach who came up and talked to me.
Totally invisible.
That's okay. And again, trying not to say this in a bad way, but back to being a shut-in. I've been to every single one of Murphy's practices and talked to the coach.
Now, here's where we differ, everybody. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Ryan goes to I go to all the games. I will go to every game she is in. I don't miss the games.
Right.
Now, when it's practice and it's like 4 nights out of the week, I think that she is at the age where she needs to be focusing on doing it.
Yeah.
I think she missed a goal at one game because I was a little late and I parked the car and she saw me and totally turned and looked. And
right. You drove on the other side and she completely missed the goal. What I'm saying is at practices, I drop her off. I'm not going to leave, drive 20 minutes back and then, all right, I'll sit at my house for 15 minutes and then come back.
Right.
No, all right, I'm going to go sit at the practice. A lot of the times I'm walking around like far away on the phone I'm not like sitting here trying to coach her during practice. I'm just at the practices. And sometimes I'll talk to the coach afterwards. How was practice? What was going on? Nothing crazy. I've had a lot of dialogue with this particular coach. So it wasn't weird for him to come up and be like, hey, Murphy did really well tonight. Da, 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 da.
And bottom line is that's the message I want to get.
Okay.
She did great.
Yeah.
But I'm a little sour about it and I don't know how to go about it. And you know what? Your explanation is just dandy.
Okay.
But I am just going to say a little bit of awkwardness. See, but again, in this situation, I would really like to be like, do we got a problem here? But I think that's a bitchy way to ask. So I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like you should just clear the air and just be like, you cool?
Here's the thing. You kill him with kindness.
That's what I try to do.
Kill him with kindness. So much so that I had no idea this was actually the case, but it worked out well. So at that very same practice, well, it's really more of a tryout. It was a tryout for a team. And so there's a bunch of new parents and whatever. There's a guy sitting there, I don't know, probably like 4 feet away from me. And it'd be pretty awkward not to talk to him. So struck up a conversation. Got a lot in common with the guy. Talked to him for the entire tryout.
But
hold on.
Okay.
Talked to him for the entire tryout. Little did I know, the person we were with goes, do you not remember getting in an argument with him like a year ago? And I'm like, nope, don't remember that one bit.
I think he did because I kept looking over and he was a little awkwardly responding.
Sure.
But I think that I guess you didn't realize it. You also have to understand that we have much different social batteries. You don't have a social battery. You're like on Energizer
Bunny.
Yeah, where you're like, what's your name? Where are you from? That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your name? What do you do for a job? No way. I've always wanted to do that too. What's your name?
Yeah.
And then I look like a bitch because I am not comfortable in I mean, I'm just.
You're not comfortable socially, really. Like going to anything, you're not necessarily in your comfort zone.
And that's something I've really tried to work on.
Yeah.
Is getting very drunk prior so I don't have to think about it. And I just go in and no, just kidding. I don't do that. But
be a Hoosiers dad?
I kind of want to become the Hoosiers neighbor where I'm like, yeah, piss off you. But I'd never do that.
Yeah. You know what? You know who you kind of are a little bit?
Well, this is going to go well. Who am I?
You're a little Tom Segura.
Oh, yeah. First of all,
Bad thoughts.
This is a show. It's on Netflix. If you've never heard of this comedian, he is like insanely funny.
He's very funny.
And he just wanted to do this show. And this is, you guys, it's on Netflix. It's called Bad Thoughts. And if you could make it through episode 1, then
you're a sick individual.
Then you're a sick. And we did. We went
through all of them.
But every episode we just kept looking at each other like, no, that. And it's not like a scripted show. It's
scripted.
Well, it's a comedy show. I don't want people to think it's like a series.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a 6-part individual episodic. And
I didn't know this guy had it so out for Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah. So where are the bodies, G?
Which I didn't follow Tom Segura, so Segura. So I didn't know what this was, but I kept seeing memes where it would show Garth and it would be like, where are the bodies, Garth? And this guy, I think it was just as a joke, right?
As a joke years ago, talked about how Garth Brooks is probably a serial killer. And
you may think, no way, like that seems like the nicest person in the world.
But it's been an ongoing joke for 7 years to like where it's a point where it's like, it's pretty bad. Like everybody brings it up. And it's like, where are the bodies, Garth? Where are the bodies, G?
Yeah. And of course, you're going to again say, no way, Garth Brooks is like the nicest guy in the world. But what they did was they mapped out people who went missing in every town he was in.
Yeah.
And that's what this guy's defense of this, where are the bodies, because every town. So anyway, to go back to the show, Bad Thoughts, he does like an episode where he plays like a Garth Brooks type of a country artist. And he kind of talks about how he kills
kidnapping people and killing people.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's just so outlandish. And I
say that that's the most normal episode?
It literally is. And please, again, if you watch this and you can make it through episode 1, I think we need to give a prize out. Because
we talked to your sister, who's also has somewhat of the same sense of humor as we do. And we were like, uncomfortably laughing together watching this show. Yeah. We talked to her about it and she goes, I couldn't make it through episode 1. What the hell was that? And I'm like, yeah. It's out there.
It's so weird. Please, if you are going to try it, don't watch it around children. It's so messed up. Oh my God.
Messed up. It's just messed up.
Just a lot of things happen in this show but it's hilarious. But he's such a funny person that he makes it funny. Some of them are
I could see a good percentage of people being disgusted by it.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm like, don't judge us. There were some parts that I laughed at in episode 1, but then there were some parts where I'm like, this is not good. I can't believe this guy's going to get away with all of this. So if you're looking for something really outlandish to watch, you got to watch this.
He was on Rogan. Segura was on Rogan this week or last week or whatever. And they started out, Joe Rogan's just laughing and he's like, how did you make this show? Dear God. And he's like, we just made a couple episodes and took it to Netflix. And we're like, do you like it? Because Netflix has done a couple of his comedy specials, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll do 6 episodes. And he's like, no way. You'll do this show. You'll pay me to do this show. And they did. And yeah, I watch it going, he got paid to do this.
It's just, again, it can't be explained. You just try to watch episode 1. Even in the first 10 minutes, you're going to get a taste of what the rest of the series is like. And it's just, please don't judge us that we laughed and we thought it was funny, because we try not to be horrible people.
Segura's got a little Norm Macdonald in him where he will just keep the joke going.
Well, like, where are the bodies, Garth?
Well, yeah, but like in episode 1, Like, remember, it will just keep going until like you're uncomfortable. Like there was 2 parts where I was uncomfortable, but laughing. And I'm like, when is this going to end?
It does kind of go on where it does get to that uncomfortable point. You know, Andy Kaufman was big on that kind of comedy where he would go out in front of, you know, big shows that he was playing with hundreds and thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of people or hundreds of people. And he would just tell like a stupid joke and then just stand there until people booed him. And it was uncomfortable comedy. That's what I think it should be called if it's not.
Sure.
It's that uncomfortableness. And Tom Segura, I don't know how to say his name. Tom Segura. He is, I think, one of those comedians where if you went to see him, he would tell a really messed up joke and then just stand there.
So his comedy's good, but there's some of the messed up stuff. I was not prepared for what saw.
What the show is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a sketch show. Every episode is different and you kind of get sucked in. But again, you have to be a horrible person to enjoy it, which clearly we are horrible people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like we've made it through 3 episodes or 4. Maybe 4?
4 or 5, yeah.
Oh, God, 4 or 5.
But you know what they do? So it's like a micro skit or a 10, 12-minute skit or whatever it may be, but a film, right? And then it shows like 3 or 5 minutes of the next one. And then it automatically, you're like, well, I got to see what happens now. And then episode 2 pops up and it carries on.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're 5 episodes deep. Another show that I watched a couple episodes of and I have thoroughly got sucked into it. But it's a show called 4 Seasons.
I heard you talking to your sister about this, but that's all I got.
Oh, my God. No, actually, we were at a dinner last night with some friends, and I awkwardly brought this show up.
Oh, yeah, you
and
did.
that's where you heard it. It got a little awkward. And I wonder why people don't wave, but everyone's having this lighthearted conversation. And I'm like, yeah, I just started watching this show, and
hold on. We're with 3 couples. There's 3 of us there.
Yeah.
Right, at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are playing, whatever. And then you go into, oh, yeah, I just started watching this show. It's about a bunch of couples that hang out, but one's getting divorced.
And it's got Steve Carell. It's got, and I should know her name. She's on Reno 911. And it's got Tina Fey. And it's about these 3 couples. It's episodic, but it's not like a regular series. It's like 6 episodes and then they just end it. And it is so good. So if you're looking for kind of, it's funny, but it's also really, I don't know, again, am I at an age where I read way too much into things for some reason all of a sudden? Because watching this show, I don't want to give it away, but Steve Carell wants to divorce his wife, and his wife has no idea.
Is his wife Tina Fey?
No, it's Reno 911 girl.
Okay.
And she has no idea, and she plans a vow renewal the day he's planning on telling her. Oh. So the whole family flies in, and it broke my heart because I'm like, oh my God, they were married for 25 years. Then he starts dating a yoga instructor.
Is this why today you've been asking me if we're always going to be together all the time?
Yeah, but I bet Steve Carell told Reno 911 lady that they were always going to be together. You really just never know when something is going to implode like that. And so, yeah, I've been looking at you a little sideways. Great show. So those are 2 really, one of them's a good show.
On. So how many episodes is that?
6.
And you're done with it?
No, I'm about halfway done with it.
Okay.
And I was watching it last night on my phone in bed, which again, terrible way to fall asleep. But it's like I got so sucked into this show. And again, it's way different than Bad Thoughts. Very, very different. But I really thought it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this list that I found, and I'm going to not only give you these weird facts that some of them are like shocking to me. Well, I don't want to give you a test because you're gonna realize, hang on, how should I do this? So I'm going to give you these 10 interesting facts that shocked me, and I want you to be honest and tell me if you knew these because most of these I did not know.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know that hot water freezes faster than cold water?
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes.
Son of a biscuit. Okay, here's one I don't think you will know.
Okay.
The Mona Lisa does not have eyebrows.
I guess I didn't know that.
Okay, what about this? Humans have 3 eyelids.
No, I
Yeah.
think you're lying about
No,
this. This
listen.
is completely messed up now.
While most
like
people,
an alligator?
No, listen. While most people are familiar with the upper and lower lids, people also have a small third eyelid called, nictitating membrane.
Yeah, you're just making
Nictitating.
this up now.
No, here's how it's
You
spelled.
literally are telling me a story. People have a third eyebrow. It's called nictitating.
I know, nictitating. It's Nictitating. That's nictitating.
Right, sure. What's the next fact?
Okay, the next fact, camels also have 3 eyelids.
Yeah, wouldn't know that either.
Okay, dolphins can hold their breath for 10 minutes. I thought dolphins could hold their breath longer than that.
For longer.
No, it's only 10
Do you know
minutes
that
at a time.
dolphins try to mount humans?
Yeah, they try to make love to them.
They try to make love to humans.
I went one time. Oh God, I am naming the podcast. Maybe it's me, because I went one time with the family on this dolphin adventure where you'd get in a giant tank and there's dolphins and they do silly, goofy things. This dolphin hated the shit out of me. Every other person, the dolphin would come up and they're like, kiss her cheek, and the dolphin would kiss. And then everybody thought it was funny because the dolphin would come to me and shake its head no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I paid for this shit, and I am being incredibly insulted by this dolphin. And everyone's like, oh, Blinky or whatever his name was. I don't remember. And I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm paying to be
The
incredibly
dolphin
insulted.
probably just thought you were out of its league.
Oh, that's not. No, the dolphin clearly was like, I don't like her at all. And I wonder, is that part of the show, or are the trainers like, oh my God?
How great would that be if
They're like, we've never seen this before.
Yeah, but they have like a secret whatever for the dolphin that always one person they don't touch.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Maybe I fell into that and I was just the lucky one. Do you know what the strongest muscle in your body is?
Strongest muscle?
Strongest muscle.
Quad?
That is a total Chad guess, because the answer is your tongue.
Oh, okay, sure.
I feel kind of like a dork getting excited about that. Rhythm is the
Just gonna
longest.
get you?
Yes. But other than that, it's the longest English word without a vowel.
Yeah.
What's the oldest living land animal?
Tortoise?
And how old will a tortoise live? How old is the oldest tortoise in the world?
There was
right now?
one.
This
that
is
they-
enthralling.
On the Galapagos Island that was with Darwin, and Darwin was, I think, late 18th century.
Throw out a number.
Hold on.
It's not a history lesson. It's a
No,
number.
I'm trying to do the math in my head. 160 years old, longest.
You're actually kind of close. It's 192 years old.
Okay.
And his name is Jonathan.
Oh, actually, the longest living one.
That's what I said. I said, what's the...
I just thought you were talking about like on average Okay, never mind.
Did you know that your brain alone burns 400 to 500 calories just by thinking?
Thinking real hard, babe.
You know that we like to play Trivial Pursuit.
You despise whenever I bring out Trivial Pursuit.
I love trivia. I hate card games.
Okay.
But I love, you know why? Because I can't understand what card games are. And
You
people
like
are,
spades?
I forget the rules the minute we stop playing, and then you have to re-explain the
But
rules
the
to me.
rules of spades are pretty easy.
So anyway, but we play Trivial Pursuit, but we play the kids version because that's
No.
about the level.
We had to specifically get an adult and a kid version, like the combo version. So when we play, people can draw from the blue adult or draw from the yellow kids.
And I mean, the adult ones are like, you know, they're really hard ones. The kid ones, like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? But the bad flip side to that, the questions are obviously easier. But the flip side to that is if you don't get the questions right,
if the adult,
then you are an absolute dipshit, apparently.
if the adults win on the blue version, and you have like 3 pies on the kid version, that's not a good look.
Okay, this is crazy. My brother actually broke this bone. What is the strongest bone in your body?
Femur.
It is the femur bone. My sister ran my brother over with a pickup truck. It sounds like a country song, but it actually just happened. It was back in the day where kids could drive, like on farms and stuff, which probably is still a thing. I hope it is. And my sister was Heidi. I'm going to just call her out. She was driving recklessly for a 12-year-old. And we were on feed bags on the back of the truck, or seed bags. They were seed. And every time she'd accelerate, we'd slide off the bed. This is what kids did before phones. We'd slide on the seed bags off of the back of the truck, and then we'd slide. And it was just the funnest game. Well, my dumbass brother didn't get up after he slid. And my sister put it in reverse and straight ran him over. Here are a couple weird things about this story. Number one, he went into shock. His leg did not look right to me, of course, because he broke his femur bone. But he went into shock and he started laughing hysterically. And so I'm in my mind a kid, and I'm like, oh, he's okay. Damn, he's laughing. Maybe we can pop his leg back in and Dad won't have to find out about this. That's the first really creepy thing. The second thing is, this was obviously before cell phones were, at everybody's fingertips at all times. You had to use a landline. And when you were out and your dad was working on a farm, there weren't any landlines. It was like you were there and our mom was at work at her job. And so she had no idea what happened. She was at work. She got a really bad feeling. So she drove straight to the hospital without knowing anything. And she walked up to the desk and said, do you have anybody by the last name of Kaler, which is my maiden name? And the nurse said, we do. We have a Nick Kaler here. She had no idea what it was for. She had no idea why. But to this day, she said, I just had this feeling that I had to get to that to me is so crazy kismet, where she wouldn't have known until way late, but she just got this feeling and she left her job and drove to the hospital.
You don't think
just
she
like
had that feeling because maybe an hour before that, as she was leaving, your 12-year-old sister goes, Mom, where are the truck keys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's probably...
I'd have that feeling if Murphy... She's 7.
This is where I think
she's 12,
we're helicopter parents.
If she
I was
no.
driving at her age.
And someone ran each other over.
It is a miracle that he survived that, because what if it ran over his head? I would probably be messed up for life.
Oh, for life.
Seeing that.
Yeah, 100%.
But, seeing him with his leg all gnarly and not right, and then him laughing like the Joker was such a trip. I probably need to get therapy for years of holding on to this, but I didn't. And now I can't get the neighbors to wave at me. And I just truly think, what is going on here? Is there like a rumor going around that I'm like a pedophile or something?
No, I would say if there's rumors going around, it's different than that.
What do you think the rumor about me is?
I mean, we can go outlandish, but I would say the most likely rumor.
You're putting gasoline on a fire, but go ahead.
No, is back to you don't like anybody and you're a shut-in.
But I don't think I should be punished. I do like everybody. I do like
I
people.
know you like everybody, but I literally think that you aren't social, and that's not a bad thing.
I'm not as much as I should be.
Right. And so other people are. And so like out waving, talking to people, whatever, you just don't.
Okay, now I'm going to flip this on you.
Yeah.
There is a dude text thread for guys in the neighborhood.
Sure.
And I asked you the other day, well, what did you say? And you said, oh, I just read them. I don't. Yeah. And I'm like, you don't respond. No wonder people won't wave at us. We seem like complete assholes. That really bothered me. So on the flip side,
yeah,
wouldn't you also be thought of as a shut-in that doesn't like anybody? No. Aren't we in the same sinking boat here?
No, because the thread that you're talking about is a bunch of guys I don't talk to.
That's because you don't get out enough, Ryan.
But no, I think, I probably should reply to that. I just don't have anything to add.
Yeah, I do this too, where I read a text and it's not to be a jerk, but I'll read it and I'll be doing something and I'll laugh at it if it was funny. And But if it's not an emergency text, I kind of will look at it and be like, all right, either I say, okay, I'm going to get back to that, or I just completely suck and forget. And, or I feel like that's a good thank you for sending that to me.
Sure.
Anyway, so we'll keep you guys up to date on the neighbors that hate me. I don't know what the deal is. You say I shouldn't reach out and say, are you good?
Yeah, that would be weird.
Thank you for being honest with me. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. I noticed that there were a lot of people who subscribed recently. So thank you for that if you have. If not, go on to that because I post pretty dang regularly. I actually just got a message from Facebook that said, and maybe this is bogus. Who knows if this is true, but it says, we're putting your stuff out to a wider audience because you post regularly. They probably aren't even doing that, but I get excited when I hear stuff like that and very grateful. So thank you very, very much. And before I sign out for the day, I just want to say thank you to my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating and Air. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating and Air is not only family owned and operated, it is locally owned and operated. And it is veteran owned and operated. And all you have to do is just go on to Google reviews, go on to Yelp, and just read all of the amazing reviews that are left by people who are just blown away by the service. We had them come out and do a complete system checkup before, it starts getting incredibly hot. I hate nothing more than to be hot and sweaty. I don't know how people live without air conditioners. It's just, what are you doing? Call my friends. They've got such great rebates right now that you're going to get an amazing deal on that system that'll keep your family cool all summer long. So go onto their website, polarbearpha.com. Yeah, that's right. Plumbing, heating, and air. How sad I have to stop it. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the podcast.